You ever see a gate lose an argument? Because I did, and I'll tell you right now, it sounded a lot like victory. That steel barricade screeched and buckled under the wheels of my old logging truck, 20,000 pounds of diesel-fueled stubbornness meeting a so-called community standard. Yeah, that happened. But if you'd told me 2 days earlier, I'd be at the center of the wildest showdown Cedar Creek had seen in a generation, I'd have laughed you off my dad's porch. Let me back up a sec. It was supposed to be a quiet weekend, just surprising my old man with a load of fresh lumber for the barn, fixing some fences, maybe catching up over bad coffee and better stories. The road in looked the same as it had my whole life. Wet dirt, pine needles, that heavy farm smell you can't bottle or fake. Except for the brand new gate. Big thing all chrome and blinking cameras guarded like it was the entrance to Fort Knox instead of my father's driveway. 2 guys in navy polos flagged me down. No commercial vehicles, one says eyeing my truck like I'd showed up in a tank. HOA rules. I almost laughed. This is the same dirt road my dad bulldozed himself in the 70s. Never been a homeowners association, not here, at least not until someone crowned themselves king or queen of the gravel. Well, turns out they had a Queen Martha Kensington. She showed up in a spotless Lexus Pearls and all sizing me up like I'd tracked mud across her white carpet. "You're causing a scene," she said. "Your truck doesn't meet our standards for entry." The guard snickered. My patience. Yeah, it started running thin right then. I tried reason. "I'm just visiting my dad." She smirked. "Park it off-site and walk. Or turn around. Or if you want, we can call law enforcement." So I did. I called the county sheriff myself, and Deputy Harris rolled up. Guy knew my dad by name. Had that look like he'd done this before. "Your HOA roads don't start till 200 yards that way," he told Martha, waving a county map. "You can't block private property." She hated that. But Harris shrugged and said, "You can pass, but keep your cool. Folks like this, they love to sue when they lose." I was ready to drive on through, but Martha, she got bold, stood right in front of the gate, arms folded. "Move, and we'll report you for property damage." I stared at her, killed the engine, wasn't about to flatten anybody, no matter how much she wanted the drama. Harris shook his head, said he'd file the incident, told me not to push it. "We'll sort it out. Legal," he said. As I sat there, something clicked. Old survey stakes faded, but still there showed the gate was way inside our land. Not just by a foot, by almost 60. My dad's driveway was being blocked by a fence some HOA built where it didn't belong. That night I parked at the old property marker by the creek, pulled up GPS, and checked the county maps. Sure enough, gate was 58 feet inside Thompson land. My dad didn't even know it was happening. He just wanted to sip his coffee in peace, but the next morning, over bacon and eggs, he handed me a yellowed deed from 77, said he kept copies for when folks get ideas. And man, they had. We barely finished breakfast when Martha rolled up again, clipboard this time. Handed my father a $500 violation notice for obstruction and non-compliance. Her voice was syrupy sweet. "Remove that truck, pay the fine, and things can go back to normal." My dad just grinned the way old men do when they know the wind's about to shift. "Ma'am, your gate is 58 feet onto my land. You're the one trespassing." She blinked, then recovered, tried to spin it legal, community maintenance, annexed, road paperwork nobody ever signed. I showed her the county map. She scoffed. "Maps can be wrong. So can people," I shot back, "especially the ones who think rules are stronger than dirt." She left mad as a wet hen, but I could see the doubt in her eyes. That afternoon, I launched the drone, filmed every inch, tagged every boundary, called Harris the deputy. He looked at the footage and whistled low. "They built right over your property." "So what can we do?" I asked. "File for removal," he said. "But Martha's got lawyers. Stay calm. Keep proof, don't break anything. Yet." My dad laughed. "That gate's not going to last the week, is it?" Harris just winked. By evening, my phone was full of texts from neighbors. Turns out I wasn't the only one tired of the HOA's games fines for mailbox color, grass height, even a neighbor's pink mailbox. Everyone wanted to see how it would end. That night I set up GoPros by the fence and let the plan settle in. At sunrise I sent a text. If you're tired of fines, show up in 15 minutes. Bring your phones. By the time I rolled the truck out, a half-dozen neighbors were gathered at the bend. Phones, ready faces, nervous but hopeful. Martha arrived, guards at her side, her voice screeching over the gravel. You're making a serious mistake. You can't destroy HOA property. But it wasn't HOA property, and she knew it. I revved the truck, and when that bumper met the steel, the whole valley heard it. Gate folded like a tin can. Neighbors cheered, the guards bailed, and Martha just froze, clipboard shaking, voice stuck somewhere between a threat and a prayer. Deputy Harris showed up, took one look, and said, "Looks like gravity won another argument." The crowd lost it, laughter echoing down the road. Martha tried to threaten legal action, but the proof was everywhere on video and county records in the drone's lazy circle above our heads. She stormed off the Lexus, throwing gravel, but that broken gate was already a local legend. Before noon, the first videos hit social media HOA blocks. Farmer's son gets flattened instead. By lunch, people from 3 counties were sending messages, some calling me a hero, some just glad someone stood up to clipboard tyranny. But Martha wasn't done. She sent out new fines, desperate fining neighbors for property, destruction, defamation, even for laughing at the wrong time. All it did was break the silence. People started sharing receipts, old letters, every ugly thing she'd done. Turns out she'd been skimming from the dues, holding private brunches at the country club, making up rules as she went. It was a dam breaking, and all I had to do was stand back. By week's end, the county stepped in, surveyors, inspectors, even the local news. They confirmed it all. Gate was illegal. HOA violated every easement. County revoked their operating license, fined them out of existence. Half the board quit. The rest couldn't look anyone in the eye. Even Martha's lawyer called me asking for terms. I told him community control, no more fines, no more queen with a clipboard. He hung up, but not before I got him to admit on camera that we were right all along. When the last of the gate was hauled away, I built a new one with my dad, oak and steel, hand-sanded, no locks. Just a reminder that respect matters more than rules. The neighbors gathered not for a meeting, but for a barbecue. Even the ones who'd sided with Martha came by, shamed but welcome. Funny how fast fear turns to laughter once the walls come down. A week later, Martha drove by, slower now, sunglasses hiding whatever was left of her pride. She stopped, looked at the new gate, then at all of us. "You built another one," she said. "After all that." I smiled. "This one doesn't lock anyone out." My father chimed in from the porch. "Good neighbors don't need rules, just boundaries. And the kind that don't come from a clipboard." The crowd roared. Maybe Martha learned something, maybe not. But the board was dead, the road was open, and Cedar Creek finally felt like home again. People started helping each other again. No fines, no fear, just folks living, working, and laughing together like it used to be. Sometimes doing the right thing doesn't feel peaceful. It feels loud, messy, like a storm rolling over a field. But when it's over, you get to breathe easier. And the next time someone shows up with a new fence or a clipboard and a bad idea, maybe folks will remember they don't have to back down. You ever see a gate lose an argument? Trust me, it's worth standing your ground to find out. Now tell me, would you have done the same? Or would you have let them close that road for good? Drop a comment. Share your story, and let's hear about the time you pushed back when it mattered. Because sometimes all it takes is one truck and a little courage to set things right.